Hey, how's it going? Welcome again to the Dragon's Lair YouTube page. Want to welcome you guys to the page. If you like us, subscribe to us, tell your friends about us. Today we're talking about comic books that kind of got you into collecting. We're going to do a two-part. The first is going to be with my boy Mike here, and we're going to talk about some stuff. He talked about some stuff because he's from Puerto Rico, so he's got some different, some different looks on, aspects of things when it comes to comic books. So he was telling me a story, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's pretty cool. It made me a little more proud to know him, because when we talked about it the first time, we shot this cool part, and it was so long, and he looked like he was going to cry. It actually was too long, and we couldn't post it. So I just wanted to have him even have his own little thing here. So Mike, share with what brought you into comic books and stuff like that. So go ahead and share that with us.
So, my name is Mike. Y'all gonna see me on all the videos for the Dragon Slayer page. My brothers were really big into Marvel and DC, and I was the youngest one, so I was always the little boy that couldn't touch anything, couldn't have no fun.
Like your friend that came in here today. He said,
yeah. So I always like comic books. I always like Spider-Man. And just recently, I was like, man, I really like Bagley. Mark Bagley as the best Spider-Man ever. I don't care what you say. So I find myself looking through my brother's comic books and finding, oh, wow, these are the comic books that my brother has when I was a little kid. These are the comic books that I always wanted to have for my own. I always wanted to keep or whatnot. And it wasn't until we shot this video the last time that I realized that one of my favorite Spider-Man covers was done by Mark Bagley.
And I think it's kind of cool because when you get stuff like this, and so that was your first Spider-Man comic, so it's it's ingrained into your head.
This was my first
Spider-Man. That's
Spider-Man.
what kind of usually happens.
Spider-Man comic books, and this other X-Men was one of the. I don't know why. I don't even like X-Men like this. I don't have
Tom Brady.
Nothing X-Men in my house.
You do.
I'm not. But
you got one X-Men
so I joined the military. I left my house. I come back to kind of clean up my stuff, and I was like, this box of comics there was my brother's, and I was like, I don't know what are y'all gonna do with this? And they were like, man, throw that stuff away. I don't want it. So I kept it.
And if you know Mike, he's like this when it comes to food. You can eat that?
No,
I'll eat it.
We don't throw anything away, So these are the two books that I got a decent amount of books, and my brother's kind of abandoned. But these are the two books that I always was like, wow. And I'm pretty sure I never opened any of them. Because by the time I grabbed the book, my brothers were on top of me like, hey, don't touch my stuff or whatever. So this was the beginning of me liking comic books. This was definitely what kind of, man, I like superheroes. Man, I like this, I like that. And I was probably 5 years old when 5 years old? I was 5 years old when this book came out.
1995?
93. So this was one of my very early pulls towards collecting.
1993, you were 5 years old. I was just taking over the Dragons.
That's crazy. Now let's fast forward to 2014, 15. Fast forward all the way to 2015. I go to Heroes Con before I used to be a customer here, but not as
Loyal.
as good as a customer.
Loyal.
No, I was loyal, but not as good as a customer.
You got those customers are a pain in the.
I was a complicated customer, all right? I was kind of confused. I didn't know what I liked, what I wanted. I had to find myself into the collecting world.
Oh, my turtles.
So, I went to Heroes Con just because your bass guitar player told me that Kevin Eastman was going to be there.
Your bass guitar player.
From your band. Long hair. What's his name?
The guitar player. You're talking Brad.
Him. Brad.
Yes.
So he told me, hey man, there's a comic book convention. A lot of people were gonna be there. I didn't know much at that time. I was like, something to do on the weekend, let's do it. So I went there and I saw this banner. As I'm walking towards the convention, I see this on a banner, and I was like, I need to have that. I need to have that. I don't care how much it is. I don't care where I find it. I need to have it. So everybody's pointing me all types of ways. Nobody can actually tell me where to find these comics until I find the artist, Bab Star. And I asked her, hey, you know, you have this book. She was like, I only brought 20 of them with me. I don't have any more. They're gone. So I was like, man, like, I've been looking for this book. I've been walking this convention for the past hour looking where to find this book. This is like the convention exclusive book, and nobody can tell me where to find it. So she was like, let me check. So her little booth was like, I don't know, it looked like cartoons, like all flowers and unicorns and rainbows, and like she just disappeared, like bloop, she disappeared. And she's digging under the boxes and moving stuff around. You see her whole thing moving to the side like the cartoons, and she pulls one out, and it was bent beyond. I don't know. I didn't want to buy it because it was destroyed, and everybody that knows me, my books, I gotta be super nice. So I was like, you know, how much you want? And she was like, hey, this book is, I'm not gonna use the words that she used, but she was like, these books are bent to a bad place. So I was like, well, okay, well, how much you want? I still want it. And she was like, I think she said, just give me $10. So I gave her $10. She signed it. I believe you submitted this one. I believe you submitted this one because I believe Eric was the witness for the first one.
2015.
I believe y'all submit that one.
Yes, it's possible. Yeah.
So she, one of the CGC witnesses saw her sign in, took the book from me, whatnot, and I submitted it. And came back like a 9.0. And I was like, man, like 9.0, like, don't want it. The following year, 2016, I went back to Heroes Con because all the creators of Spider-Man were gonna be there. So I have this book cracked. They all signed it. I pressed it, and it went from a 9.0 to a 9.4. And I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I like a 9.4 more. But this book right here was the one that changed my collecting. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to collect. And everybody knows that I've got a bunch of Spider-Gwen in my collection.
It's because your wife is blonde.
It's one of my favorite characters to collect. Nothing to do with my wife being blonde, blue eyes. It's just, I love the character. It's kind of different. You know, there's a lot of Spider characters, but the way they made her, it's kind of different in their own crazy way. Now, this right here, it's my all-time favorite. Everybody that knows this already know what book it is. And if you don't know what book it is, I'm sorry for you. I'm really sorry, guys. Ninja Turtles, #1. This is a third print.
What?
Third
Third print.
Third print. You know, number 3. So the story behind this book was I went to see Stan Lee in Heroes Con.
That was 2015. This one.
Yeah, same year.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to see Stan Lee, and I stumbled into this book. I'm kind of sad, and I'm gonna say why. So the guy wanted $350 for this one, and he only wanted $400 for a second print, 9.2.
You know what? Now that you recall this, I remember seeing you at the convention, and I do remember you talking about buying this book. I do remember that.
Yeah, because it was expensive. I mean, for somebody that's starting to collect comic books that don't know anything, they only had like 4 graded books. $350 for a comic book was expensive. So I bought this one and not the second print because it was only $50 more than this one, and I regret it every single day. But yeah, I bought this book. It was ungraded, and in 2017 I was overseas doing a little deployment tour with the military, and my wife met Kevin Eastman here in North Carolina.
It was Fair Comic Book Day at Ultimate
Ultimate
Comic.
Comics, yes. So they cracked it, signed it, pressed it.
Took forever to get back to you.
Took forever. The crazy story, they lost my book. They lost my book. My book was nowhere to be found for about 6 months. There was a lot of nights that I had to stay up because we were at a 13-hour difference. So when it was 11 in the morning here, it was 1 in the morning over there. So I had to stay up so I can talk to people from Ultimates. They were pretty nice about the miscommunication, the misplacing of my book. I was not really happy with it because this is my girl. This is my favorite book ever. And now they tell me they don't know where it is. Because the guy told me, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, I have receipts here that says that you took my book. So this is my favorite book ever. I've met Kevin Eastman. I've met a bunch of the artists.
He's like this with Kevin Eastman now.
That's a lie. I met a bunch of the Turtle artists. They're amazing group of artists, and I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to meet them at conventions, share stories, hang out, eat, drink, talk. It's just a really good experience.
So now you need that first print.
I'm working on getting a first print. Hopefully, if everything goes well, 2020, I will own a first print or 2. Don't tell my wife, please. Don't tell my wife. She don't need to know. So,
I just why has this book moved? Look.
I don't know. I don't think it moved. I hope it don't move. I mean,
because it's not like it's not centered.
It's not centered, but just. You see how all this plastic is holding it to the
Yeah,
side? I don't know.
guess so.
It's an odd size book, so.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's 'cause of the way out.
But from all the books in my collection, and now fast forward, 6 years later, I have about 100 slabs, about 40 are Spider-Gwen and 60 are Turtles. I think that's the ratio, 40 to 60, and then I got some random stuff thrown in between.
It's actually funny because we always say fast forward. Well, for me, let's rewind. So we rewind from that to 1993, where I had a first print on my wall.
I'm leaving. I want
On my wall, and sold
done.
it. And I know I sold it to one of the customers here because their son wanted.
Call
and I
him
sold
up.
it.
Call him up. He might have it.
For $125.
Tell him I give him $150. Tell him I give him $150 and this one.
I don't even know where they're at anymore. So, man, that's a great story. I love that you shared all this. You didn't share your one that made this.
That's part 2. That's coming on a different video.
Yeah. But man, it's really cool to see all the cool stuff that gets people into comics. Like I said, we're gonna do a part 2 here. We're gonna have a few people just talking about comics, like a round table, talking what got them into it. So, thank you again. Again, subscribe to us. Tell all your friends about us, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.